Now this is just straight up hilarious, talking about the EMP that we've all been indoctrinated with, we've all been brainwashed. So this pulse, like 50 miles above us, can just magically go through metal roofs, and it can just magically go through metal computers and just erase your hard drive. If you have any little digital devices, it just wipes them out. I made a video about a month ago where I go through some of these so-called nuclear explosions and I show where the clouds don't even move. It's fake. It's inserted into the picture or video. There's another incredible video proving the nuclear hoax. It's by Galen Windsor. It's like an hour and a half long. Mind-blowing video. You might want to check it out. If you really believe nuclear weapons exist and nuclear power stations can blow up and contaminate hundreds of miles of radioactive fallout and all this, please go watch a video and get educated. You've been brainwashed with more propaganda. You believed your television instead of going and doing research. Now, I just found out today that there's actually a guy that wrote a book, a detailed, in-depth book about the EMP hoax. It was released January of this year, 2018. Now, I'm going to have to buy this book and check it out, because this guy apparently knows it's deceptive propaganda. If you go to Google and you type in like EMP hoax, I mean, there is a lot of websites exposing this deceptive propaganda. The overrated threat of electromagnetic pulses. Is the EMP testing just a hoax? North Korea's overhyped EMP threat. Yes. In case you don't know, North Korea is like a New World Order puppet. They're like actors. The power elite are going to use North Korea sometime in the future, just like Iran and Russia and China. Their ultimate goal is to demolish America sometime in the future, to deceive the world into thinking Armageddon has happened. It's kind of like a counterfeit tribulation production. So that when the real Antichrist comes on the scene, he's going to topple or tear down the fake Antichrist. The whole world's going to believe, oh my God, this great world leader has killed the Antichrist. He destroyed the New World Order. He destroyed the Illuminati. And no one is even going to realize he's the real Antichrist. It's like this brilliant counterfeit production they're going to pull over on the world, so that no one will recognize the real Antichrist as the Antichrist. He's the guy that destroyed the counterfeit Antichrist that the whole world believed in. And then he's going to be praised and loved and admired and worshipped. People are going to pledge their allegiance to the great leader that toppled the New World Order and the Antichrist and all this. Let's go through this step by step. Once you start investigating the nuclear hoax and nuclear bombs don't really exist, we have compelling evidence, then you move on to the EMP hoax or deception. So what have we all been programmed to believe? That sometime in the future, a rogue nation can detonate a nuclear bomb above America, 50 miles, 100 miles, and cause an EMP and wipe out the electrical grid. Your car most likely will not start after the EMP. You've been programmed this decade after decade. Well, we know that most major companies or corporations are ran by high-ranking occultic Freemasons. They're all in on it together. So we've got thousands of these cell phone towers that can send out secret signals. And there is a possibility that they might send a signal to modern-day vehicles through their radio or their antennas. Like a secret encrypted signal telling your car to shut itself off. They can shut down the power grid. They can shut down cell phones and all communications. They can deceive all of us into thinking that EMPs really exist. It makes me wonder, let's say you bought an old crappy car from the 80s or 90s and you take out the radio, you take off the antenna. That vehicle most likely could never receive an encrypted signal to shut itself off. See, we know through Hollywood movies and propaganda that we've been brainwashed to believe that automobiles are just going to be wiped out. They're going to shut off after a powerful EMP. And it's a total crock. It's a deception. They will never promote truth and honesty. The power elite will always promote a lie and a deception. If you have the money for an offline power grid or power source, chances are after a so-called EMP, all of your electronics are still going to be functioning. Your refrigerator is still going to be running. Your little MP3 player is still going to be playing music after a so-called EMP. It's all fake. It's all propaganda. And I would like to point out there is a high possibility sometime in the future the power elite will create a false rapture. They'll just shut off the power grid, turn off all communications, create these blaring horns in the atmosphere, maybe detonate a couple bombs in some major cities. And when the power is restored, they will convince the world that millions of people are missing. But I've said it 100 times. How do you know a difference between a real rapture and a fake rapture? When the little kids are all missing, unexplainably gone, all of them, you know a real rapture has taken place. I do encourage everyone out there watching this video, if you actually believe in the EMP propaganda, please go to YouTube, type in nuclear hoax, and start looking at some of these videos. Do a little investigation, do a little research. Because you'll soon find out it's all deceptive propaganda. The power elite will never promote truth and honesty.